Cameo-gasm action.
We're doing cameos, so get the fuck out if you haven't seen Deadpool Wolverine.
Which isn't a lot of people.
We have a spoiler-free review, and we have a spoiler review.
We do.
But we just did plot spoilers. We didn't do
specific spoilers.
Cameo spoilers. We did, like, the Wolverine variants, which people are counting as cameos now, but it's like, it's a part of the movie.
But there's all Hugh
And we
Jackman.
didn't even do the one that we could have spoiled.
98% of them are Hugh Jackman.
Or Hugh Jackman, yeah. So I'm like, if it's the same actor, that doesn't count. Yeah. But a lot of cameos in this movie. So get out if you haven't.
There, they got their 30 seconds.
You got your thing. You got your thing. Spoilers, heavy spoilers. We're gonna tell you right off the bat one of the first giant cameos in this movie. Well, it's technically the first big one is, drumroll please, Henry Cavill as the Wolverine.
I thought technically the very first cameo is Happy.
Oh, the Happy cameo. Happy Hogan is the first cameo. I lied. I lied. People are like, if they're going in order, I have nothing to worry about because I already know about Henry Cavill. Fucking, did you just say Henry Cavill?
You're like,
in the movie? Happy Cavill. Happy Hogan. Yeah, when he's like doing his application to be.
It's like a 5-minute scene, but it is glorious.
I found my place. Find your place.
It's like I was. The disapproving look from Ryan Reynolds as he's like doing
and then he just hugs him. He's like, I'm a hugger when I'm nervous. We're not doing that. Is the big guy showing up? No. As far as I'm concerned, I'm the big guy. He doesn't do this thing anymore. So fucking funny, man. I just rewatched this movie.
Are you in again?
Like last night.
I know.
Yeah, so I'm
trying to go tonight again.
Yeah, and I forgot about Happy Hogan.
If you watch his channel, we don't do a lot of, like, we gotta go see this again.
Yeah. This one, though, you miss a bunch on the first go-around. There were jokes that I was still laughing at, and then new jokes that I didn't, like, pay attention to because I was laughing from the last one, you know? Yeah. So Happy Hogan, it's a great cameo.
It's good.
I don't know if they did, like, a de-age thing to Jon Favreau, because he looks really different.
I think they, you know what, because it is supposed to be 2018, he looks like he's got a wig on.
Something. His eyes look bigger.
And if he got hair plugs, my bad, but it looks like he's got like a wig situation.
Okay.
I don't know.
But that one is like just kind of like a baby cameo. Like you're right, it's not an RDJ. Like because obviously it's not going to be.
That's how they frame it in the movie. The music cues, the camera does this pan shot. You see Iron Man's helmet, and it's Happy Hogan, and it's like glorious. It's such a funny.
Yeah, and that comes all the way back around.
It does.
And he's like, I don't do it, or I'm not doing it because I need it, because they do. And then he like fucking grabs the matter thing or whatever, and then like goes to grab the other
his
one.
little speech at the end while he's.
Yeah, sure. So the next cameo we have on our list is Henry Cavill as Wolverine, which they kind of stall out. Like they show him from the back working on the bike, like it's X-Men
Because
Origins.
they give you a bunch of Hugh Jackmans.
And then they space it out with a bunch of patch cutaway.
Yeah. They did like all these making you think when the camera went back to the person that it was going to be somebody different.
Yeah.
And then every single time it was Hugh Jackman until it wasn't.
Yeah. And then he turns around, cigar in his mouth. Can I help you, bub? You know, and he's like, the Cavalrine. He's like, this just feels so right.
Yeah,
we'll treat you way better than those dicks across the street. Yeah, so fucking funny. I don't think Henry Cavill will be joining the MCU as Wolverine, but he probably will be in the MCU
I
at
think
some
that's
point.
coming.
Next cameo. So they get to the Void. They have their little fight. They stop their fight. Because reasons, I can't remember why they stopped. Oh, because this is the point where Wolverine's like, you can get me back to my world and have the TVA fix it. Yeah, and then they like team up. Yeah, and then they walk around to some corner or whatever, and then who do we get? But some cloaked figure sitting on the rooftops of something, and it sounds like Chris Evans, Captain America.
Oh, that's right.
He puts his arm out.
That's right, that's first.
It's Captain America colors. It's literally like red on his arm and blue on his arm with like some tattered bandages. Yeah. Then he gets down, he talks to like Sabretooth and Pyro and Toad and everything. Then he takes his thing off and it's like, oh, he's gonna say it. And then he says, flame on.
Yeah, because he's like,
Johnny Storm,
you
baby.
need to like leave or whatever. And it sounds like Captain America. And then as he like looks up, it's
Deadpool like comes behind and like hugs him a little bit, like puts his arms around him. He's like, no, we're not doing that. It's him just trying to hug every cameo. Like, don't leave me again. The Johnny Storm thing, man.
It was great.
I'm surprised they kept such a fucking lid on this, but like they made it their mission.
I know there were rumors, but there were so many rumors from so many different people. Like I did not expect him to be in the movie and to get as much screen time as he actually got.
He comes back.
It wasn't
he
even,
like
it
fights
wasn't 10
Pyro.
seconds.
Like we get Human Torch versus Pyro, and he just sucks all the fire out of his body.
Which obviously.
Like obviously, right? Yeah. And then like falls to his death, but then he's not dead somehow. Like Johnny Storm doesn't have a healing factor, does he? No. He's just like, I'm dead now.
But he's not.
But he's not.
Because it's the void, I guess?
Because it's the void. You can't die in the void, even though a lot more people die in the void.
I think that
like,
was supposed to be a comic book type thing. You know how like you get one panel where it was like almost...
They should be dead?
Like Dragon Ball Z, the fall out of the chair backwards, kind of ridiculous panel, then the next thing. That's what it felt like.
Yeah.
Because you're right, he doesn't have a healing factor. And he takes a direct skull shot at the end there to the ground when he hits like the metal. So
he like hits his nuts from like
because he's like, ow, up in the ow, and then that last fall, it's like snap, crack, and he doesn't move, and you're like, oh yeah, he's...
They're like, we don't know him. He's not with us. But then, yeah, cut to the next scene, and he's like in the convoy with them.
Talking shit.
And it's like, oh, is Johnny Storm just in this fucking movie? Like, what? And then they get to Cassandra Nova, and she peels all his fucking skin off.
Like, instantly.
Instantly.
You should have heard what he was saying about you. Oh.
That after credit scene, man, when they cut back, and he's like saying, she can lick my cinnamon ring from Timbuktu to fucking, you know, whatever he says. Like, holy fuck, man. Holy shit. And then we get a bunch of X-Men cameos, like Azazel shows up, Psylocke's there, Juggernaut's there, Lady Deathstrike is there.
God, there's so many in the background.
That like striped shirt guy was supposed to be like a Punisher thing from the comics. It's just like a big strong man in like a red striped shirt, and it's like we could have made this Punisher, but we didn't.
No,
people are saying there was.
They say later that Punisher died in the void when they get back.
Yes,
to the...
which Punisher? There's been like 5 of them.
That's the joke.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm trying to think of like all the X-Men came. People are saying Bullseye is there somewhere, but it's not Colin Farrell. It's just a Bullseye. That's pretty much it for the X-Men.
The guy who they got to play Juggernaut.
Oh, Toad.
Pyro,
like, he looked like OG.
Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Okay.
He does, like in the face, I'm like, did they CGI?
Just like big Juggernaut.
Yeah, like,
or like big Joseph Gordon-Levitt. Yeah, like shredded. Yeah. Yeah, it's not the Juggernaut from the original movies, but it's the same outfit. We can assume it's the same, but they just
they make a comment too, like, oh, who's Juggernaut this time or whatever.
Yeah. And we didn't spoil the Juggernaut thing in the last one, even though it's a big plot point. Like they need Juggernaut's helmet to like get Cassandra Nova to like submit or whatever. So then Alioth comes, they bounce, they like escape on the Sentinel boot, which is pretty fucking cool. Like
a real low key Easter egg, and no one even seems to realize.
And like Wolverine like knows how to operate it. Like he goes in and like bang, exactly what he needs to do, and then like Deadpool like jumps onto him like as they're carried away. Yeah. So then we get nice pool, dog pool, the Honda Odyssey. They send them on their way. We get the big car fight. And there is a cameo here, but it's not a face cameo. Who gets in the car and takes them to the others is the one and only X-23, Daphne Keane, which we knew. You know, it's safe. The trailer they put out for the in theaters now
has her there.
She was at the premiere.
Feige said that's why that they put her in the trailers, because
not a bad thing to spoil, because you're like, yeah,
that's the one you knew was coming. We kind of need her.
Yeah, if there's
especially
gonna be,
at the beginning of the movie, you knew for sure.
Everyone
absolutely knew.
Everyone creaming their pants over Logan when they're replaying him. Paradox like mouthing the words like along with the Logan scene they're playing. So fucking funny, dude. So yeah, X-23 brings them to the others, where we get 3 fucking of the most pop-off cameos ever.
In slow-mo.
In slow-mo, one by one around the corner. So they knew exactly what they were doing and knew exactly how to handle it. The first one is, ready? Jennifer Gardner as Elektra, which we've known about for a couple years. I feel like it was announced that she was going to be in it.
Figuring was one of the others I kept teasing.
Well, because like you're right, Ben Affleck was rumored to be on set.
Yeah, there was like set photos.
And there, so we could assume if they're getting Daredevil, then we're getting Elektra. They swerved us, and
I'm happy.
We're better for it.
That's when Ryan Reynolds was like just posting shit constantly. Like they're in the movie and
Shrek's
they're in the movie.
Yeah. Fucking Darth Vader shows up at one point. Yeah.
And then the biggest shock,
the biggest surprise of the entire fucking movie.
Because real quick, if you didn't know, Ryan Reynolds was in the Blade trilogy.
Yes.
Which people shit on the third one. It's the funniest one because Ryan Reynolds is in that movie.
They're all good.
I love the Blade
trilogy.
They're all fine. It's actually the first like good rated R Marvel stuff.
It's good action.
They did. It's just not bad.
It's great action. I can't remember a single bad guy or
plot
plot
point,
but
he likes the Blade movies. I do.
Fucking blast us.
Wesley Snipes is great.
Blast me in the face. I'll take it.
But Wesley Snipes hated Ryan Reynolds so much that he started protesting during the filming of the third one by not doing what the director said. There's a scene that's really famous that's got memed where he's like laying back on a table and they're like about to operate on like the bad guys because they think he's dead. But he wouldn't open his eyes. He's supposed to open his eyes in the scene and he's like, I'm not opening my eyes. They had to CG. If you watch the scene, you don't pay attention until you actually know it. And then you go, oh my God, that's not real eyes.
I've heard about this, yeah.
So they CG him opening his eyes. And it was because he hated Ryan Reynolds and refused to do the scenes with Ryan Reynolds. So when Wesley Snipes' Blade comes walking around the corner after Elektra, I don't know. I don't know if I've ever had a movie moment in my life where I was like,
he like walks in, says something, Deadpool says something, Blade goes, I don't like you. And Ryan Reynolds, as Deadpool, goes, you never did, buddy. So fucking good, man.
In all my life.
It pays off.
It pays off, but like, I don't think I've ever not been spoiled and been that in shock in theaters for a twist or a spoiler or a cameo. And I'm like, holy shit.
Like the Johnny Storm thing was like,
that was
holy
definitely
shit,
like,
dude.
didn't expect it.
Yeah.
But I would have put money that there was not a chance in hell that he would have been in. He hated him.
That they even wanted to.
Yeah.
That they even had to contact each other to do it.
Because they asked him over the last year or two during filming if he would do it, and he's like, I would love to do it. I've been bugging them. He played so hard that he wasn't in it and was begging to be in it, and they were ignoring him. And people were like, of course, why would you be in it? They played it so cool.
They brought them all out at San Diego Comic-Con. I was telling you this. They hug Ryan Reynolds and Wesley Snipes. And he's like, no, we like each other. We were just playing it up for the past. I'm like, no, you disliked each other.
It was
like,
not good.
And maybe it's been,
over the years,
quelched or whatever the fucking word is. Squelched. I don't know the word. And then we get a third cameo here,
which is even
like,
not
shut
that,
the fuck up.
Not that
dude.
because it would
no
never
way.
happen, just because I would never have expected it.
No. Channing Tatum as Gambit walks through the fucking door in comic accurate Gambit costume. As fucking stupid as it looks so
It's
good.
Borderline terrible and amazing.
And
it's
amazing.
the weirdest thing.
I'm like, God, Channing Tatum would have been good.
And if you didn't know, he's been wanting to be, I think he's back since all the way like 2009. They've been messing around.